Hi, my name is Barry Wiltaken, and this is a demo recording of how the Informatica MDM Hub can match external files with the contents already in the hub. Remember, this is not the most common way of matching records with the hub, as this is usually an automated process which is seamlessly integrated with your other systems through batch and real-time integration. What I will be demonstrating here is how you can utilize an external file with customer records, such as contacts and organizations, and I will run these against the hub using a match rule set of your choosing, all without actually changing data in the base object in any way, or changing the match table associated with the base object. Now, the match rules can contain fuzzy or exact match rules, and this is fully configurable based on the source or the type of data that you have. The results are then displayed in the IDD, which is the Informatica Data Director, a web-based user interface for data stewards, where you can then view these records and export them to a flat file. So let's do this now. What we have over here is the logon screen of the Informatica Data Director. Now, I will use the administrator user to log on, but this can be any other user that you have, obviously, if you have enough privileges. So when we log on, we come to the landing page, and the landing page is basically the start page, which contains all the components, either native to the hub or external components that you can integrate with the hub. We can talk about the contents of this landing page in a different video. But for now, let's just focus on the external match. So over here, I have a data tab, which I can use to search for data, open data, view data, basically manage my master data. And the same goes for the search. So these two do the same. You can have integrated reports from an external reporting tool. You can do data analysis, which brings you to the Informatica Analyst for data profiling, for instance. You can create new master data over here in the new menu. And the piece we are actually interested in is the external match. So when I click on external match, I then have the ability to load a CSV file and match these against already existing records in the MDM Hub. Now, the file that I'm going to upload is a file that contains customer records, and these are both contacts as well as organizations. So I have persons over here, and I have a few organizations over here. Okay, so what I will do is I will load these into the hub. So click on the load button, then browse, and click on web cust, click open. And over here, while I upload these, I can select the match rule set that I want to use to match these records against records in the hub. Now, different match rule sets exist because depending on the type of matching you do or the source where the record comes from, you may want to use different match rules. So you could use, for instance, a different rule set to match real-time with records in the hub using only, say, the last name and a postal code. Whereas when you do a batch upload of records from a system using a data integration tool from Informatica, you may want to match for households, which is a different purpose, which is not something you do in real time. So the same goes for this. You can choose a specific match rule set, and over here I've already configured one that can be used for external matching. So when I click on external match and then on import, what happens then, the file is fake loaded, so to say, to a match table, and it is matched against records in the hub. So on the tab source data, I see all the source records that were uploaded. So I have a number of records, 101, that are in here, which I can see. And we have two tabs over here, medium confidence matches and high confidence matches. Now, an important part of the MDM Hub is the so-called trust framework. And the trust framework is something that helps you with comparing the relative reliability of column data from different source systems. So the Informatica MDM Hub allows you to configure trust for these columns. And trust is basically a designation of confidence in the relative accuracy of a particular piece of data. So for each column from each source, you can define a trust level, which is represented by a number between 0 and 100, with 0 being the least trustworthy and 100 being the most trustworthy. By itself, this number really has no meaning, so it only becomes meaningful when you compare it with another trust number to determine which one is higher, and this determines survivorship. So given I haven't set any trust score for this file, and this is not something that you do, the external match feature mimics this by applying either a medium confidence to this file or a high confidence to this file. And that's what it did over here. So with medium confidence, meaning that there's a medium trust that the data in this source is trustworthy, these are the results that it comes back with. And what you see is that it has found matches over here, and these are the corresponding MDM Hub IDs of the records. Now, if I had high confidence for this source file, this would be the result over here. If there is any difference between the high confidence and medium confidence matches, you would see that over here. Now, for this particular data set, there isn't really any difference between either medium confidence or high confidence, but theoretically, this could be the case. So if there is a higher trustworthy record that can be found in the hub then versus something that is presented to within this file, you would see a difference between medium confidence and high confidence matches. Now, if there isn't any match from a particular source record with a record in the hub, we see that over here. So either for person, there are no matches for these records, as well as for organization, there are no matches for these particular records as well. Now, I can export these results to CSV. So when we do that, we will see that a file is then created, in this case, external match. I've done this before already, as you can see. So when we open this, those tabs that were displayed over here, each of them, they have a different or separate CSV file. So I can also look at the non-matches in here, but I can also look at the matches that were found by the hub. And those are over here. And as you can see, they have the corresponding ID of the consolidated record from the MDM Hub, which is what the requirement was for this particular scenario. Okay. Now, something else that I can do is, for instance, if I click on one of these records, so the row ID, the tool actually brings me to the records in the hub, so I can display it then through the IDD with all its corresponding addresses and other data. What we also see is the cross-reference. So the cross-reference basically means it shows you where this record actually came from and how it is constructed in terms of the golden record. So what we see over here is the golden record, so the consolidated single version of this particular person. And the color codes indicate the survivorship of the actual value of certain attributes in that golden record. And the originating records, they are displayed below here. So we can see that this single consolidated record is consolidated from 3 source systems. First off, the billing system, where it has this ID, a web system, and again, these names, you can define these names It's just an indicator for you to understand where the record comes from. So web could be a web portal or a web shop, for instance. And it exists there, and it has this source ID in the web system, and it also exists in the CRM system, where it has this source key. Now, the color codes indicate for each attribute where it actually comes from. So you can see that the first name, the gender code, the name prefix code, the generation suffix code, and the last name, they all originate from the CRM system, whereas the middle name actually originates from the web portal. Okay, so this was a brief overview of how you can match external records with records in the hub and get back an MDM ID for that record. And I've also shown you how you can then export the results to a CSV file, and also click through to the actual record, corresponding record in the MDM Hub, and how it is constructed from different source records into a consolidated record.